Something was off before Meghan Markle even stepped onto the carpet. The cameras were already flashing. Security was tighter than usual. A-list arrivals were moving in one by one, smiling, waving, stepping into the spotlight like clockwork. But just outside the main entrance, there was a pause. A pause nobody expected. And in that pause, something happened that sent whispers racing through the crowd. Why did security stop someone they clearly recognized? Why were producers suddenly looking at clipboards? And why did one staff member reportedly keep saying, "This isn't right"? At first, nobody knew who the tension was about. Then all eyes turned. Because standing there, dressed for the cameras, was Meghan Markle. And what happened next didn't look planned. Sources near the BET Awards red carpet say Meghan arrived with what appeared to be full confidence, styled, prepared, and expecting entry. But instead of being escorted inside, witnesses claim she was stopped at the security checkpoint. Not delayed. Stopped. That's when the confusion began. At first, people assumed it was a routine security verification. It happens, even celebrities get checked, but this wasn't normal. The conversation dragged on. Longer than it should have. Security kept glancing at their devices. Event coordinators were brought over. One source claims Meghan's team appeared visibly frustrated, with one person allegedly insisting there had to be some kind of mistake. And that's where things started to feel strange. Because according to insiders, Meghan wasn't listed where many expected her to be. No official red carpet placement. No confirmed presenter slot. No announced appearance. And suddenly the question shifted. Was she ever supposed to be there? That possibility changed everything. The BET Awards in recent years have become one of the biggest cultural events in entertainment, high-profile, tightly controlled, invitation-sensitive. Every major guest is cleared weeks in advance. Seating charts are locked. Security lists are finalized. So if Meghan's name wasn't there, how did she end up at the gate? That's the mystery that exploded online. Videos started surfacing, short clips, shaky phone footage, people zooming in from behind barriers. In one clip, viewers claimed Meghan looked visibly irritated, turning sharply toward a member of her team. In another, security personnel seemed to hold their positions while speaking into earpieces. Nothing was confirmed. But the optics were brutal. And social media wasted no time. Within minutes, hashtags tied to the incident started trending. Some people believed it was a misunderstanding. Others weren't so sure. Then came the first twist. An entertainment blogger close to the awards claimed Meghan had allegedly been in talks weeks earlier for a possible appearance tied to a charitable initiative. Not as a presenter, not as an award recipient. Just an appearance. But according to that same source, those discussions never materialized. That's important. Because if early talks happened, but were never finalized, it could explain why Meghan believed she had access. No, it could mean someone on her team acted on outdated information. And if that's true, the embarrassment becomes much bigger. Because imagine arriving publicly to an event where the invitation was never completed. That's not just awkward. That's reputational damage. But here, where the story gets even messier. A second insider claimed the issue may not have been about invitation status at all. It may have been about credentials. Temporary credentialing at major award shows is everything. If there's a mismatch in name, timing, or escort clearance, entry can be blocked immediately. And that opened a completely different possibility. What if Meghan wasn't denied because she was uninvited? But because someone in her camp mishandled the logistics? That would completely change the narrative. And yet, witnesses say Meghan's reaction suggested she believed she should have been inside. That confidence didn't come from nowhere. So where did it come from? That question kept growing louder. Then another detail surfaced. Several attendees reportedly noticed Meghan had no major media escort. No scheduled interview stop. No visible BET media handler. For a public figure of her profile, that absence stood out. Usually these appearances are carefully staged. Photographers know where to stand. Publicists know where to move. Everything is timed. This was. And suddenly the scene outside started looking less like a celebrity arrival, and more like an unexpected confrontation. By the midpoint of the night, the conversation online had split into two camps. One side believed Meghan had been unfairly blocked over a technical issue. The other believed she tried to attend without finalized clearance. Neither side had proof. But perception moves faster than facts. And in Hollywood, perception can stick. What made this even more explosive was the timing. Meghan has spent the last few years carefully rebuilding her public image, balancing media ventures, public appearances, and selective brand partnerships. Every move matters. Every appearance is calculated. Which is why this moment felt so unusual. It didn't fit the pattern. Some royal commentators even connected the moment to broader questions about Meghan's current influence in entertainment circles. Is her access changing? Are certain doors becoming harder to open? Or was this simply a logistical breakdown blown out of proportion? Because there's another uncomfortable truth here. If this really was a paperwork mistake, then the entire scandal may have been built on optics alone. A delay. A misunderstanding. A bad angle. But if it was, if Meghan truly believed she was invited and was, then someone gave her the wrong signal. And that raises a far bigger issue. Who? Was it her management? An event contact? Or someone closer? By the end of the night, Meghan reportedly left without walking the carpet. No official photos. No public statement. Just silence. And sometimes, silence says more than any explanation ever could. Because whether this was a security error, a communication breakdown, or something far more deliberate, one thing is undeniable. For a few tense minutes outside one of the biggest events of the year, Meghan Markle wasn't the center of attention because she was inside. She was the story because she couldn't get in. And maybe the real question is what happened at the gate. Maybe it's who wanted that moment to happen at all.